Hi, I'm JB here talking to you about Google's AI mode recently released, whether it is hype or reality. So what's the summary? Google announced the biggest changes to search in 25 years at I/O last week. 1 billion users, AI agents, the search box redesigned. I wanted to see what is actually live right now in Australia. So I ran queries across Chrome, Safari, standard search, AI mode, desktop and mobile to see what I got back. The results were more interesting than the announcements. Now, obviously, all screen grabs were taken at the end of May 2026. Undoubtedly, results will keep evolving in this area. Your results may look different. Just a little bit about me. I'm Jeremy Beckett, highly experienced digital marketer, expert SEO consultant, and information architect with wide-ranging technical, marketing, and commercial skills. I've also got a lot of knowledge there, built over 20 profitable years online. I have a strong track record increasing profitability, ROI of digital properties by analysing and creating streamlined, effective solutions to maximise knowledge, innovation and technology inputs. I have been described as the best SEO in Australia, and I've been doing SEO full-time since 2003. Fair bit of experience there. Let's talk about the new interface. So, Google obviously talked about this with a great deal of hype. The biggest change in 25 years, and the reality is that the search box has changed, but the default behavior hasn't. You must currently actively choose AI mode. Most users may not notice. Ask Google has replaced Search Google. There's a plus button with drop down, so you can upload images, create images, select your Gemini model. And then on the right hand side, there's also an AI mode. The default behavior though, when you hit return, is still standard search. Do navigational queries, Amazon order tracking in this instance. I'm using Chrome mobile emulation for the iPhone 14 Pro Max. All I get back is standard search. The user knows where they want to go. Google handles it correctly. There's no AI needed, therefore none is shown. What you'd expect. But navigational queries, Google gets it wrong sometimes. This is a fairly standard search in Australia, Medicare rebate schedule, where you want to find out what is the Medicare rebate schedule, how much you get back. Google inserted an informational answer on a navigational query and cited a commercial source over the authoritative government one, B rather than Medicare, which is the Australian government. So, quite interesting really. The AI overview takes up half the screen. The user wanted the schedule but got an explanation they didn't ask for. In this instance, the AI overview is a bit of a quality problem here. The same query though, run on AI mode, gets dramatically better. Gives a comprehensive, well-sourced answer, citing the right authorities, standard search basically. AI overview cited nib, same query, completely different quality. The AI mode is significantly better for informational queries. So as you can see, lots more information there. Users probably, once they get used to it, will start to want to search like this for informational queries. Navigational local, Google Business Profile is the interface. There is no need for anything else at the moment. The website is almost redundant. So if your data here is wrong, incorrect, doesn't match, then the customer will likely go elsewhere. Really important to have your knowledge panel sorted. Really important to have your Google Business Profile sorted. Make sure that you've got all of your information there and the user can basically get everything that they need without actually visiting the website. When you look at informational search for AI overview, it does the job. Jim's Fire Safety wins this one because their content is specific and detailed. The AI could extract concrete causes and solutions from their content, but vague content like smoke alarms beep for various reasons gives the AI nothing to work with. So basically what you need to do to rank here is to be specific. Also, Jim's Fire Safety in this instance gets the first organic result as well, so a bit of double visibility. Make sure that you also have got stuff around people also ask, which starts to show your fan out subqueries. Then we get to commercial investigation. Google here is nudging you towards an AI answer. It's got the plus button, it's got the blue arrow. It's also starting to bring in variations on a theme with searches that it's trying to do. It's quite a significant change, this. So what this does is this is actually pushing you towards the AI result, and it's making AI mode the default without actually technically changing the default, if you see what I mean. Commercial investigation. AI overview picks winners. The AI is picking products here, not listing options, it's picking winners. It says you should look at the Breville Bambino Plus, widely considered the top entry-level machine for cafe quality espresso and velvety microphone. The filter chips up the top show that Google knows which product attributes matter. If your product page does not have these attributes explicitly stated, you are invisible to this refinement pathway. So what's really interesting is you should look at it. It's a buying recommendation, it's not a summary. This is where it starts to get interesting. You start to look at commercial investigation, and brands cannot control the framing. Toyota invested lots and lots of information in comparison narrative within their own page, but the AI used other sources and framed it slightly differently anyway. The brand's own messaging gets filtered through the AI's editorial judgment. So what you can see here is basically that the AI is taking information, running it through its own filter, and it's coming out with its own answer. So even though you may try to supply all the information, it's not necessarily going to surface in the search results, but you still want to try and frame that argument for your users. Local service, standard search gives some options. Basically, when you get a standard search, you do a book an eye test near me, for example, in this one. It gives you options and lets the user decide. 3 businesses, pretty much equal presentation, apart from the ranking, obviously. User picks based on ratings, reviews, and proximity. No AI overview, just a local pack, 3 equal options, review snippets, and relevance to the query. When you do the same query in AI mode, it picks one winner. This is critical. It is comparing the options and it's coming back with one choice, much like we saw for the coffee machine. Standard search, 3 options, user chooses. AI mode, 1 recommendation, AI chooses. Now, OPSM was actually first in the standard results, but is absolutely absent from the AI mode. Same query, different winner depending on the pathway. So even if you're number 1 in search, even if you're number 1 in standard search, doesn't mean that when the same search is done via AI mode, you're still going to be number 1. Interesting. Urgent local is quite interesting because it's the strongest example. AI has replaced the entire search, compare, decide, contact workflow with a single recommendation and phone number. The Doctor Emergency Electrician wins because they have perfect reviews mentioning fast response and 24/7 availability clearly stated. And this really is what agentic search looks like right now. There's obviously a safety warning first, there's a single recommendation. The reviews match what the user actually wants, even if they haven't necessarily specified it. There's a direct link to the website, 13 sites called on to make this recommendation. So it's really quite interesting. Arrives within an hour. Same query, standard search gives you different businesses. Again, we're looking at the same query. Standard search recommends My Sparky and KM Electric. AI mode recommends Doctor Emergency Electrician. The user gets a different business, again, depending on which pathway they take. So you can win in one pathway and be completely invisible in another. Really important that you understand that. So you've got different factors at play here. You've got different ways of ranking in the AI overview versus ranking in local pack versus ranking in AI mode. When we get to urgent local, especially on the desktop, we can actually see, the Safari desktop anyway, we still get a sponsored result. Ads work here because the intent is immediate and the conversion is a phone call. So still a way for revenue to work here. Sponsored result is first, local pack below, no AI overview in this one, which is interesting, mainly because that's in Safari desktop. Here we have a quick look at the monetization clue. Google gives the answer away, then sells products related to the problem. This is the ad model adapting perhaps, not click-based ads based on search results, but it is contextual product placement between the free answer and organic results. This was how to remove a red wine stain from carpet, which is quite interesting. Not a kilo of salt, some fancy something else. So this is quite interesting. So actually, one of the other things as well that's quite interesting is that it doesn't really matter about recency in this instance. The blog post that ranks number 1 in the organic listings is from 2018, 8 years ago. That's a fair amount. Can't think that red wine stains have not moved on since then, but clearly not. Browsers fragmenting. We talked about AI mode. It doesn't really exist at the moment for Safari desktop users that I could find. It worked on Safari mobile, but it doesn't work on Safari desktop. No AI mode tab, no blue arrow, no conversational pathway. The I/O announcement implied a unified experience, but the reality at the moment is still browser dependent. I would expect this to change, and I would expect this to change first for logged in users, then for browser types, but we'll see what happens. Finally, multimodal input bypasses everything. I was copy pasting out of Excel, dropping it straight into this, and bang, you can see it treats it as a screenshot. And what it does is it just treats it as an image getting in, and it does the search and it pulls the information back straight from AI mode. There is no other way of searching at that point, which is quite interesting. So different people ranking again as well. So as I've said before, depending on which mode you're in, gives you a different ranking. So let's talk about what this all means. So the I/O keynote gave us a picture of unified AI first search, but the reality in Australia right now is that it's more fragmented. Standard search is mostly unchanged. AI mode exists, but it still requires deliberate action to enter, and the pathway varies by browser. When users do get into AI mode, the experience, however, is fundamentally different. The AI picks winners rather than presenting options. Different pathways recommend different businesses for the same query, and the competitive dynamics, therefore, change completely. So what you need to do is the businesses that will do well are the ones with accurate, complete, machine-readable information that gives the AI enough to work with. There should also be consensus with other sources. So if you are saying that you are fuel efficient, for example, you need other sources to also say that you're fuel efficient. Review sites, other trusted sites, etc. The people that will struggle are the ones relying on ranking position alone, old-fashioned keyword ranking, because in AI mode there are no positions, there's just the recommendation. The transition is slower than the announcement suggests, but the direction is clear. Get ready for AI.